Moving on to Tectone, he is back with a
Okay, yeah, no, we definitely need to see this. All right, tap in, lock in.
stream and has finally responded. Now, recap, Tectone's ex accused him of SA and stalking, and basically there was a civil court case which Tectone ended up losing, and they found him, quote, more likely than not to have done.
Yep, finds that there are reasonable grounds. We talked about this.
That stuff, so here he is giving his response. Tectone confirms he lost his court case.
A lot of people want to act like they're lawyers these days, okay? They do. What is a civil case? Spoiler alert, guys. I lost a civil case. I did. Hey, I did.
We were privy to that knowledge. Unfortunately, it was divulged to us by Mizkif, but we were privy to that.
And we're going to talk about, I lost. It's true. And we're going to talk about everything. What is a civil case? So a civil case is essentially a vibe check to where they see, how are this guy's vibes? Unfortunately,
I feel like we were just kind of simplifying it, but okay.
I'm fucking retarded. Yeah, L for me. I'm fucking retarded, and I run my mouth way too much. One thing that I've learned, and
we're clearly seeing that, brother.
Throughout this slideshow, there's going to be consistent change. I am going to start tweeting 95% less. I uninstalled Twitter on my phone. And
again, brother, I would have definitely recommended this way previously. Again, if we would have knew how deep this was going for you with this case.
I'm not going to tweet for 1 week. Yep. Because a civil case isn't determined by proof. It's determined by vibes.
Right, so it seems that he said
that, well, isn't the whole thing, wait. Tap in. Because the whole thing with the civil case, at least from what we were seeing, was burden of proof. The factor that, like, it's like this, and it's not like a criminal charge, like, versus it being civil, like how it is because, like, of the level of proof that there is. Like, and that's exactly why, instead of, like, again, Checky, like, Tectone, him being charged, like, definitively, they say, like, at least from, again, truly the fucking layman, but at least from what I was understanding, like, in, like, through all these different jails covering it, or whatever, right? That, like, they're finding reasonable grounds, like, through that means, obviously, they're not saying definitively, like, that Tectone has done these things, and that's exactly why it's on the civil timing and not through, like, criminal charges, you know what I'm saying? So what like when he says, like, that being Tectone, when he says, like, it's like a vibe check, like, I'm trying to understand what does he exactly mean by that. Like, that definitely is like a simplification of it, because obviously legal proceedings and jobs like that are complicated. This is exactly why we have legal counsel. Talk about this all the time, especially in the East Stockmart job. We already know, and then down in front of it. But yeah, like, what exactly does that mean, though, brother? Like, I need you to kind of elaborate more.
Saying that, according to him, there was no evidence and that he was found guilty based on, quote, vibes. Now, I don't really know how true that is, but he messaged me about this
exactly, that's what I'm saying,
as well, and he basically said that the judge looked at all of his tweets and his Twitch streams, and they thought that he was a deranged lunatic because he was ranting about OnlyFans.
I'm sorry, bro. So the judge thought he was a fucking deranged lunatic. Oh, God. Oh, shit.
Girls, and I guess making crude comments towards women, and he's basically saying that that's why he lost the case here. Right here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, then he got banned for, well, for him calling Frogan, like, fat and a bitch. Like, again, who fucking cares? That's just fucking Twitch, you know, hypocritical shit. They're defending and glazing up anyone who has the same political ideologies and all that shit. But didn't they ban him for calling, like, denims, like, a whore or some shit like that? So, like, yeah, obviously, well, and see, but then in itself, like, if you add more context and nuance to that, like I say all the time, put some respect on the hunt.
Girly pop.
Stand on business for the babes that stand on business themselves, baby. It's always love for the girly pops, the huns, and the babes. But yeah, again, for huns that stand on business, I can understand why he had some of this rhetoric for these huns, because, yeah, they're insufferable witch bitch fucking troglodytes, bruh. You know what I'm saying? No, obviously, you could still, like, argue and say, like, Techie shouldn't have this rhetoric and all that, which, like, that's your means, like, of course. Like, even in the I would agree with you for the most part. But yeah, like, you already know his disposition towards gully pops. Yeah, it may not be like Trillies or like others, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But at least, like, going specifically for, like, heads like Frogan or like Denims, yeah, nah. They are just bitches.
We have the question on Google: is a civil court case determined by proof or vibes? Civil court cases are strictly determined by proof based on a balance.
Yeah, I don't even know. I feel like fucking, like, not on Pegasus's part, but, like, asking this question on base level, like, common sense, Johns, like, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, imagine if he didn't ask proof. Is a civil court case determined by vibes? Like, you just look at that shit and be like, nigga, what? Like, again, that's not on Pegasus, and, like, yeah, again, I say it all the time. Truly never being a dumbass allegations. I literally just said it like 2 minutes ago. I'd rather heads pop everything in the fucking Google than and look stupid than actually be fucking stupid and by looking confident or whatever, not even looking, by looking confident saying wrong shit. Like, it's just fucking dumb. But anyway, like, yeah, on base level, that's what I'm saying. What Techie's saying is like, yeah, it just goes by a vibe check. I'm like, brother, this is fucking legal proceedings. Ain't no shit going by vibes unless, nigga, you just literally give off the fucking vibe of looking like, I don't know, fucking, Jeff Dom or some shit. Like, I don't know, obviously I'm not putting that on that Tectone, but like, yeah, like that's a whole different vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole different shit. So that's why I need Techie to, like, I need him to be way more specific here.
Is a civil court case determined by proof or vibes? Civil court case.
It's absolutely gonna be determined by proof. This is, again, a court of law. This is the whole like the whole thing we always talk about, especially within John's, like, defamation, bruh, or, you know what I'm saying, copyright infringement, as, you know, two main lawsuit Johns we be talking about and covering on the channel, being Miskiff and, again, like, the whole John going on by H3 and the Stark mods and you know, Dems of Rogan. But, like, when you get into the court, Johns, they're looking for proof. That, John, is called discovery. Like, yeah, they're absolutely going to be looking for proof. Like, that's absolutely going to be determined by proof. Like, 100%. This is the whole means of discovery. They're discovering, John's trying to look for more information so they could see, again, who has more merit on the means of, again, who has more truth in this. Like, who does it look like is being more truthful on their side. Again, truly the layman, but at least from what I'm presuming, like, from looking just over court shit, like, I don't know, covering some of these lawsuits within the drama slopes. Anyway, sorry about that, right? Like, yeah, there's no fucking way that they're gonna be determining this shit by vibes. Nigga, what?
Are strictly determined by proof based on a balance of probabilities, meaning the claim must be more likely true than not, over 50%. While some may colloquially joke that it feels like a vibe check or hinges on credibility, legal decisions rely on evidence, documents, and testimony. Standard of...
Well, because, yeah, if you're going, at least, like, if I'm, again, off of my interpretation, if you're going off of vibes, it's just like, okay, not knowing anything about you or any junk like that, like, on a base level, if we're translating this to, like, normal life, Jones, a vibe check is like, okay, I don't know anything about you, or, like, on, like... A vibe, because see, this goes into many things, right? There's, again, context and nuance. Because basically, like, say if somebody be like, yo, we vibing, like, we're just chilling, we're doing our thing and all that type of John too. But there's also like, okay, I don't know a person and the vibes that they give off, like, yo, what is going on here? Like, what is the type of John? And this is the thing with the judge, is like, kind of obviously, right? Like, they're reading over the case, but they don't know the person. They're just going by what information they got. So this is what I'm saying here. There is the vibes on, like, okay, what type of person do you seem like with not knowing all the info? And then there's like, okay, the vibes on that, what type of person are you? And we got all this excess information and all this type of junk. So what's the vibes after that? That's not really the vibes. That's like, okay, we're gonna evaluate you off of all this fucking proof we just got. You know what I'm saying? Like, this... But then that's the thing with Tectone's fucking case, is civil case, and that was one of the jumps, which is why I'm confused on what he's saying, because, again, there was a burden of proof. So what the fuck is going on here? Like...
Proof. Unlike the high beyond a reasonable doubt bar in criminal cases, civil cases have to prove their version of events more likely than not, so the bar of proof is lower. Evidence-based decisions are based on evidence during the discovery process.
Again, like I just said earlier, burden of proof, the bar of proof.
Legal versus layman. While some litigants might feel the outcome depends on who presents better, the legal system specifically mandates that the court must be satisfied on the balance of probabilities. In short, civil law relies on the weight of evidence to determine probability, not just perception or vibes, though credibility of witnesses often plays a role in establishing that evidence. Right, so that's basically what Google is saying, but it's what's like more likely, but who knows?
And usually the way that court cases work for like criminal cases, you need to have proof to prove that someone's guilty. But in a civil case, I needed proof to prove that I'm innocent, which was hard, and I'm a bastard. So essentially, the court decided that I'm...
Wait. And Headskick, again, correct me if I'm wrong, because Shirley is a layman, but hold on.
But in a civil case, you need to have proof to prove that someone's guilty.
In a criminal court, you need to have proof that someone is guilty.
But in a civil case, I needed proof to prove that I'm innocent.
Okay, Techie, I'm feeling you on that. So in this civil case, you needed to provide proof that you were innocent. But brother, you lost this case. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Wrong button, but like, fuck. Like, brother, you lost this case. So like, on that jump, and then we're seeing from the one doc, like, you know what I'm saying, they found reasonable grounds. Now, obviously, that does not, again, full out confirm on the jump, but like, from what you're saying, then on the basis, if you lost this case when you needed to provide proof that you were innocent, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
which was hard, and I'm a bastard. So essentially, the court decided that I'm a vibe rapist. Yeah, and my vibes were fucking terrible. So the thing that I learned is, Tectone, stop fucking tweeting. Because my vibes are fucking terrible. And I don't think I've ever been on Twitter and done something where I was like, you know what?
Okay, I see. So we might really be simplifying this down now. Because again, like, yo, you're a vibe risk, but what does that mean, though? I need more specifics, baby. Because again, brother, we're seeing like the protective order, 10 years, you can't have guns, you can't have all this shit. Like, what type of vibe is that, Techie? What kind of vibe is that? Like, brother, we're seeing the reasonable, like the reasonable grounds for some of these charges, brother. What kind of fucking vibe is that, brother?
I'm going to tweet something that's positively going to affect my life. But yeah, the vibes are fucking off. The vibes are off. All right, so I lost the vibe check. It's true.
Right, so take it that way.
No, brother, you lost the civil case, which is looking very bad. We can't keep hiding this behind the vibes. See, this is, oh my god, this shit is so fucking bad.
Well, I just sort of present the facts here, and you guys can form your own conclusions, but I gotta be careful, guys. Mizkif is gonna go, demon time! He's gonna go demon time on me! You're defending Tectone, bro! I'm going...
Nigga, Mizkif can shut the fuck up, bro. Nobody gives a shit.
Demon time! By the way, shout out to you guys. That video did so well. We got more views in like an hour than he did in like 3 days, and I think for the rest of the lifespan of that video. So also thank you for all the sweet comments. It was really nice reading them. Really made my day.
Left ass. We love our glorious slop kings every time.
And yeah, you guys just cooked him. Like, I was dying laughing reading the comment section. And even WestJet jumped in, which we'll check out later in this video. People responded, civil court in a highly biased county with an activist judge. This is unfortunately the expected outcome. Man defending himself from allegations is harassment. Woman making these allegations is empowerment. Guilty until proven innocent. After Me Too and false accusations is a reason to question everything. Nope, he failed. This response isn't good enough for me. And I used to be an egghead fan. This is the worst explanation.
See, let me read more of this. Hold on.
Everything. Nope, he failed. This response isn't good enough for me. And I used to be an egghead fan.
Shame he didn't come out with a better response. I'm really struggling to trust gacha and fucking hentai, anime loving content creators now, especially after Lakari. It's an obvious pipeline. Not even to that. It's just a factor of like, I need him to be more specific on this job. I need him to provide more context and or nuance, or at least as much as he can provide himself. And not because I had seen a whole John with the fucking Go East, where he had dropped and like fucking leaked the court documents that were not redacted, showing Pikachu, the ex-girlfriend of Tectone in this case, obviously the one who's in the lawsuit with him. And like, yeah, he had shown that shit, which is again like fucking terrible because you're showing like heads docs and all that shit, which is bad, like horrible. But like, yeah, he needs to drop more nuance on this John, because like, yeah, he's saying this John is like, yeah, he didn't pass the vibe check, or like this John, he failed this John. I'm like, yeah, we know he lost the lawsuit, but we also know like the consequences he got because of this. I need him to explain more of these Johns behind that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's up with that? Why was that the extent that they gave you a punishment? You know what I'm saying? Especially on like, you know what I'm saying, the protective order, because as we're saying, like usually they only grant for that is like 2 years, but you, brother, you got 10, and then you're saying again, yo, literally bar for bar from Tectone. Again, a criminal case, yo, you have to prove that someone is guilty, right? But on a civil case, like how he's in, he has to provide, or like the person on the end has to provide why they are innocent. So I'm like, all right, brother, if you lost, then clearly you didn't provide why you're innocent. So what exactly are you guilty on, or what exactly is really cooking you? What is the nuance behind that?
This is the worst explanation for being guilty I've ever heard. You know who also won criminally but lost civilly? O.J. Simpson. Anyone think he was innocent? Okay, that's a crazy comparison. If he did anything bad, it would be a criminal case, not a civil suit. So super split here in the replies. Calling a civil case a vibe check makes me think this dude is definitely a great...
Like, okay, hold on.
Just trying to call... Okay, now.
Okay, that's yeah. Thank you. Me and Pegasus reacted literally the same. Okay. I'm like, okay, you lost me.
All right.
But here's what I was gonna say. Hold on.
Calling a civil case of...
Calling a civil case a vibe checks makes me think this dude is, and then that's where literally again calling this case a vibe check and then cut off. That's where like he lost me after the vibe check out of quotes, right? But this is where I'm at. I'm like, Techie, you cannot call this shit a vibe check. Especially again, what we're seeing from the one page with the reasonable grounds. You know, you mentioned that with the essay and fucking stalking. Check, Techie. This is not a fucking vibe check. This is looking really fucking bad. Like, you do not fucking understand. We can't be sitting here calling this shit a vibe check. Like, yo, we're past fucking vibes. Your vibes have been obviously terrible. Again, according to your ex-son. You know what I mean? So like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, the rest of this shit, yeah, no, I just.
Vibe check makes me
he's
think
going on the buzzwordism.
this dude is definitely a rapist trying to okay, no, all right. Reddit says they don't strip you of your Second Amendment rights on a vibe check for a decade.
Thank you.
In Texas, of all places. From what I've seen, the protective orders are normally 2 years. Judge viewed him as a danger. They
Exactly what I was saying earlier.
upgraded to 10 years. So then Tectone addresses another creator named Muujin who made like this big tweet disavowing him.
Talk about Muujin. All right. So Muujin put out a crazy Google Doc on me. I'm also going to say I like Muujin. We were very, very, very close friends. Best friends, actually. He...
Yeah, my bad. Again, pray to the Pope. You are. But yo, the Pope again when he was covering the whole Jones going on with Tectone, I can't wait to see his coverage of obviously this is gonna be good when he covers it for sure. I'm pretty sure he's covering it. He's probably gonna cover it today. Yeah, today's Monday or whatever the fuck. Yeah, he definitely coming back cover the show. So, but anyway, sidebar that obviously we're seeing it now, but like yeah, when he covered that John, double it. You're gonna be seeing this again. But going on this now, yeah, the Pope covered the Johns with like Muujin, and I believe there was another bull that came out and made a response, and holy God, was he shitting on these fools. He was like, yeah, don't take these fucks seriously, bro. They're just trying to fucking save themselves on all that shit. They're just jump shipped. Or they just jump shipped. I'm fucking stupid as shit, bro. God, that grammar's so awful.
Actually officiated my wedding. No, we were very good friends. We broke bread. We lived together for 8 years. Really,
I'm trying to say if he can't break bread, he feet.
Really good friends, me and Muujin. Yeah, Muujin's just wrong. Yeah, I don't really get it at all. Is the power over? No, it's not over. I have to go over a couple more Google Docs. So real quick, I gotta highlight some things here real quick. So he makes some big claims. What was said by Muujin was on January 29th at 2 a.m. And now, why is that important? Why is it important that Muujin said this on January 29th at 2 a.m.? Muujin made a post saying that he read all the documentation. Muujin, I really hate to break the news to you, but all of the documentation wasn't available until January 29th at 8 p.m. So how the did you read all of the documentation when it wasn't out until 18 hours later? Like, listen, man, I understand you got to save your skin, but you couldn't have read all the documentation because it wasn't out until 18 hours after you typed all that shit. And then you go, and I guess we'll talk about this right now, right? You make this claim. Why did I choose to speak up now? Because protective order court cases are infamously difficult for the victim, especially in the state of Texas. Okay, so, and let's just talk about some numbers here real quick. 77% of them are approved. But can we not just make up lies as well? Like, come on, man. Once again, I'm not mad. I don't care. It is what it is. Me and Muujin never talked. It doesn't matter. I had him on a podcast like 3 times because I liked his vibes, and he was the giggler. But it is what it is. I don't mind at all.
Vibes coming up again.
It is what it is.
3 times on his podcast. Well, that's 3 times more than me, but no. Apparently, Misgift thinks I'm best friends with this guy. He's gonna go, demon time! But yeah, this is essentially just him sort of talking about the drama component of it, not really the court case part anymore. I think he will still have a career.
I'm like, yeah, the response to Muujin, yeah, who gives a shit?
Career streaming and stuff, because even if hypothetically he was like the worst person ever, I've understood that on the internet people do not care. Like, look at Destiny, look at Hus.
Yep, G-Boys, truly the most pathetic, wretchful subhuman among killers. But yeah, again, Tectone needs to come out with a better response. Like, if this truly is, and if that part going on before was like the main part of him covering like the case itself, then yeah, we definitely need a better response ASAP. 100%.
On like all these fucking degenerates running around, so it doesn't matter for your career at all. You can pretty much be like the worst person. You can be like an open PDF file, and the chances are you're gonna become like famous or something, right? So yeah, I think his career is probably gonna be fine, but I guess reputation might have been harmed. Who responded? Why doesn't he deny any of the statements of fact that caused
Reputation absolutely harmed, brother.
him to lose? Very strange. Notice how he doesn't deny any of the accusations. It's not hard to get a protective order. You can get one with a simple unverified statement. This is such cope. Just called the judge wrong and a liar instead of beating around the bush, and drops an F-slur 45 minutes into the stream. That's a classic. To make it clear, the 77% is a lie and classic selection bias. 77% of protective orders that make it to a final hearing are granted. That's not 77%. It means 77% where the judge finds reason to believe there's in danger are granted. Okay, that's a bit of nuance there. So then he says the American justice system failed him, and then he talks about what he's going to be doing forward in his career. Tectone's closing statements after the loss in court.
This will be my one and only comment, and then I am moving forward for the rest of my life. Addressing the elephant in the room. I lost a civil case.
Again, We acknowledge this, brother.
Did. That sucks. Didn't go the way I wanted, is what it is. But I do genuinely want to respect the court's decision. At this point, I'm not sure what route I want to take from here, but I believe even though I lost the case, I do believe that this still gets me to where I want to go, which is for all
Wait, like, hold on.
parties to simply move on.
Like specifically for this, 'cause I was about to say, I'm on an overall, brother. I think you would like to not get in a case like this at all whatsoever. You know what I mean?
That's pretty much all I want, is for everybody to go their separate ways, to be able to move on and find solace and peace in their life. I understand that things are going to be an uphill battle.
But then, Techie, see, I could ask you the question then. Like, well, no, because then that's in the regards. Because I was about to say earlier, if the judge is saying, like, oh, yeah, they thought you were crazy going on, like, these, like, fucking schizo rants, all this crazy shit because of, like, your rhetoric on tweets and stuff like that. I was going to say, but, like, yeah, then stuff like that, like, couldn't you have mitigated that, John, to, like that type of stuff is, like, not moving on, like, within the process of, like, him going through the suit, like, yo, having all them tweets and all this shit, like, going crazy on this, John. That probably really wouldn't be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is not helping at all. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, gang. I mean, hopefully you're not gonna, like, do that shit anymore. Like, he's saying he's deleting Twitter, like, he just 95% this shit's gonna be gone. But, like, still, like, it's just, yo, the fuck is he gonna mean?
For a while, and that's okay. But I will say, I do want to respect the court's decision. Do I think the American justice system has failed me? Yes. And I do believe in an America.
But, hey, again, I would imagine you would feel like that.
Where consent cannot be retracted 1 year later. However, at the end of the day, I want to move forward with my life. And so I am going to admit that I fucked up. I should not have tweeted that much. Straight up. I think.
Well, then why did you?
I should not have tweeted that much. I was tweeting like crazy. I hope people can understand why I was tweeting that much.
Right. Okay. So he keeps bringing up these
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, but in Techie, see, this is what kind of boxes you up because, yeah, now you were tweeting like you're admitting you were tweeting too much. And then we're hearing from Johns. And now, again, well, not mainly from his gift, because a lot of heads been saying, like, gang, you might have been on the right-wing grifter timing, bro. It might have been really bad, bro. You might have been saying inflammatory Johns. But then we're also seeing that, like, yo, you might have been saying, you were saying in court that, like, yo, or better yet, where did that come from? Was that from the transcripts? I think that might have been from the transcripts. Hopefully I'm not wrong on that shit, bro. I ain't trying to spread no misinformation. But we were hearing from the Jones that, like, Techie was talking about, like, you have to, because of, like, what's going on, like, in the period of his life, he has to make, like, a content pivot and all that type of shit. So it's like, gang, we start adding all these things up. I'm like, fuck! Like, shit not looking good.
Wait, now, I'm guessing what happened is that in court, when they were making these arguments, the opposing lawyer kept bringing up Tectone's tweets, and maybe he looked extremely schizo and crazy and, like, woman-hating or whatever, and that maybe completely cooked, like, the so-called vibes or whatever. I guess that's what he's trying to say here, right? Now, obviously, I'm not a lawyer, so, you know, I don't really know what sort of affects the outcome.
Yeah, trust me, we're definitely not on the legal speak. This is definitely some layman shit.
Here, I do recognize that, yes, in some cases, courts can be biased, even judges can be biased. You know, that does happen, and injustice does happen. But in general, I think you probably need to put faith in some sort of general law system like a court, because otherwise every criminal ever can say that everything's rigged. Then the actual, like, worst people on
Exactly.
earth can be like, well, no, everything's rigged anyways, it doesn't matter. So, like, there needs to be some sort of standard, you know?
But at the end of the day, I should have practiced self-control. I fucking got out of hand. This shit consumed my fucking brain, and it sucked, the things I was being called. So I tweeted a lot. Going forward, I'm just, like, not going to tweet, like, barely at all. I uninstalled Twitter. I'm not going to tweet a
Yeah, brother. Definitely agree on you doing that.
single time for another week. But I think what I learned is
Sheesh. I know nobody said bless you. I know nobody said it. Nobody said it.
I need to stop fucking tweeting so much. And boys, let's just move the fuck on. And to my lawyers, sorry, I should have shut the fuck up. And that's it.
So then, brother, you're basically blatantly admitting that, like, yo, you botched this for yourself. Like, or at least, like, we, again, don't know, like, the full context and nuance to all the Johns and everything that happened, right? But obviously, and within the regards of, like, when you first knew that you were going through with this lawsuit or this show was about to happen, like, you should know from there on, like, yo, you should have never tweeted anything in general at all on any basis. On any basis, baby. So if, again, the main thing, especially in the lawsuit or whatever, from like what we're seeing in the civil case, right? If the main thing from, again, like at least what I'm presuming, because again, layman, I don't have all the nuance and context, it's just from what we're getting from Techie. If the main thing that boxed you out from the judge was like your tweets, or boxed you out from the opposing lawyer, and or like from the judge looking at what the opposing lawyer was saying about these tweets, like really boxed you out, made you look kind of crazy, you know, that type of jazz, then like, brother, you know, again, that looks bad. You definitely should not have done that. Like this is well definitely like a hindsight thing, but this is, well, during the times you tweeting this shit, definitely should have been a current moment thing. Like, yeah, I probably shouldn't tweet this shit. This might really box me out of my suit, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, gang. I mean, it's stuff works there.
Oh, no, bro. The apology to the lawyers is actually crazy. But yeah, in general, for anyone, I would say that staying off Twitter is a wonderful idea, right? Now, personally, I haven't tweeted in years, right? I used to tweet like several years ago, whatever, and then I completely stopped randomly because I just thought that that platform is completely brain rot garbage.
Yeah, nah, I can't do the Twitter shit, bro. It's cooked.
And the shit I was seeing on there was just off-putting and sort of ruining my day, right? So I only check in for content purposes or to watch like a casual tweet about Los Ratones. Also, side note, is anybody else watching the cinema going on in the League community right now? Oh my.
I'm about to say word, like whenever I be going on Twitch or whatever, like to go get like, I don't know, like a Son thumbnail or like denims or somebody, bro, like get a Twitch rip, bro. I always be seeing heads just popping off in League, bro. I'm pretty sure they once had like 115K in one of these shows. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
God, Los Ratones 4-4. Holy shit. Comeback of the century. This is my Super Bowl, by the way.